different platforms. We are going to live on, let me see, over here, our Binance Live, and I'm going to end my previous session as well. It's been a busy day, I know, because, well, it's boom rounds already, and we got lots and lots of AMAs scheduled together. And right now, we are having a Twitter space ongoing for our community members to sing songs and celebrate upcoming Chinese New Year. And now I'm going to start our GameFi product spotlight on Petopia with Corey. Awesome, awesome. Great. I believe that we already started. Nice. Okay, and I'm going to, as mentioned, I'm going to play our intro, actually our countdown video, so the audience would know that we already started. Let me scroll down and find it over here. Let's go. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our live show across different social media platforms. This is Meng Lai, your host from Ultiverse and also Ultiverse Head of Community MBD. Today, we are very exciting to put our GameFi project spotlight on Petopia. And also, friends, I wanted to let everyone know that our Honors Committee is very honored to be able to participate in the Petopia pre-sale over here. Very, very happy to have the opportunity for collaborating together. And we would like to invite Corey to introduce yourself and your role. I know you have multiple roles, right? Because you don't just push out the Petopia project, you actually also have different titles. Would you like to let us know more about it? Thank you.
For sure. Thank you guys so much for having us. Really do appreciate it. And I'll try to keep the answers as short as possible. So my name is Corey, as you've probably seen, and I'm the co-founder and CEO over here at Petopia. And my co-founder, his name is Steve, and he's the CTO. So I'm non-technical and he is very technical. A lot of you guys may actually know us from Pegasus, which was a very successful game that we released. But I guess, should I give a little bit of background or?
Of course, yes, if you could. Thank you.
All right, beautiful. So I guess some context here. Myself and my CTO, my co-founder, we had an interesting intro to the GameFi space. So back in 2021, I was just playing my first ever game called F1 Delta Time by Animoca Brands. Some of you may know it if you were back it was actually towards the end of 2020 actually. So and then I was just playing and I made a video and he decided to message me on Discord and ask if I wanted to build a game with him. And well, one thing led to another and here we are. So the first game that we built back in 2021 was actually called Pegasus, and extremely successful. That one went massive. We were actually the second largest game in the Philippines for Web3 in 2022, according to CoinGecko, and had about 500,000 players. $200 million went through that game. And from there, what we recognized is that there's a lot of areas that we can improve that user experience. So now we have Mirai Labs, which is really the parent company or the game studio. And obviously, we build games. We've still got Pegasus. And then we've got Petopia, as we are here today. And then we've got a whole bunch of infrastructure that really facilitates the user experience for Petopia. So that's where we are today.
That is very nice. Thank you so much, Corey, for the detailed information that letting us know about that. And yes, I was just wondering the connections, right, between Mira Labs and Petopia, and we are certainly very happy to learn about that. So everyone, come members, if you have not give our Petopia or Mira Labs a follow, be sure to do that. I already tagged Len on our Twitter post and already share our Twitter post to our Discord server the other day. So everyone, be sure to go to our event sessions and you will find the poster, or go to my Twitter and you will find our banner. And thank you so much, Corey, for the detailed introduction. Would you like to let us know more about the pre-sale that is ongoing right now. Thank you.
For sure. So most people would have seen that we're in phase two at the moment. So what was phase one? Phase one was actually a very, very brief sale. It was just extremely, extremely hot. And we decided to split it up into a second phase to allow more people to have the opportunity to learn about Petopia and then also get the opportunity to join in. So I guess, should I go into the details about the NFT, its utility and stuff?
Yes. Yes, if you could share us with us right now, that would be awesome because I will ask about that anyways later. Thank you.
Okay, sure thing, sure thing. So when we look at the NFT that's happening at the moment, consider it like the OG or the founding, the rarest NFT of the Petopia ecosystem. And while it's, I would say, different to a lot of other NFTs in the sense of its utility, I think it's very interesting as well. So it's not just like a profile picture NFT and then it has just vanity utility. These are playable characters inside of the game, and the best characters inside of the game. But beyond that, what's quite interesting about it is that it does have an airdrop attached to it as well, plus some very interesting points mechanics that I think if people are game players are gonna love. But beyond that, even if they're not game players, they're probably gonna love it as well. So every NFT does have a guaranteed airdrop, to be clear, and that airdrop is for the Petopia token. We can go into that a little bit more in the future, but with the play to airdrop system, what will happen is that when they're released, you can actually use them in the game almost straight away. And the more you play it, the more points it accumulates, and the bigger the airdrop you can get. Now, if you're not interested in playing, well, there's a lot of people who want to buy NFTs, but they don't want to play. You'll actually be able to rent it. And this is something that we pioneered back in the Pegasus days. Pegasus got so big because we made automated rentals. And what you'll do in this scenario is that you'll just list your NFT on a marketplace or send it directly to a friend through the game, and they'll be able to play the NFT, and you guys will be able to split the points. So that means you guys can split the airdrop. But even further, what's quite interesting is that the points are attached to the NFT. So that means if you wanted to accumulate value on your NFT and then sell it on the secondary market, you could accumulate value through the airdrop and the NFT itself. So the prices on the secondary market will be really interesting to see based on how many points they have from the game. And then beyond this, so of course these are basic utilities, and sure, there's a token airdrop in it. However, like I said earlier, Mirai isn't just a game studio. We also have our own blockchain, which is Mirai Chain, and that's focused on mobile gaming studios. So this year alone, we're going to be bringing over 10 games to the chain. And what we're going to try to do is broker deals with those projects to give our holders the exclusive access to their mints and the whitelists, more airdrops maybe, and whatever else that we can bring from those projects, essentially as a thank you for supporting us and holding. So that summarizes it. I know it's a lot, but hopefully that's clear.
Wow, thank you so much, Corey, for sharing the details with us. Yes, certainly airdrops. Who doesn't like that, right? Especially if you play good, play well,
Right.
you are going to get more. So this is definitely great news for the gamers. And talking about that, we are so curious about Petopia's gameplay because I've seen that you join different AMA session and they are also video sessions, right? And then you could, share different, share the screen with us. Would you also like to do that and share screens of your gameplay of Petopia to us so that we know how to play, and maybe you could teach us some tricks right, for doing it well and doing better, and then get more airdrops. Thank you.
Sure. Let me show my screen here. This is actually just a video that one of our community members produced this week. So actually, it was today. So it'll give you a raw perspective, not something that I've put together myself. So hopefully you guys can see the screen here. I'm just going to play
Yes.
this. I don't think it'll be too loud. But this is essentially the gameplay. So it's actually a dungeon crawler roguelike game is what they call it. It's a casual mobile game. but it's pretty intense. So the lore, I guess you could call it. What's the story behind it? You're a pet, and you need to go through these dungeons and defeat the plants. The plants are invading Petopia, so your goal is to level up your character and essentially dominate the land and destroy all of the enemies. So as you can see here, he's versing one of the main bosses, which is Watermelon Boss, and he's barely got any health left. But oh, he lost right there, right at the end. So that's a perfect example of what the gameplay is. And this player right here has actually been in the community quite a long time. It's a perfect example of progression. So you'll be able to find this on Twitter if you did want to see the video. This is him here. He goes by City. And also, if you did want to find some more stuff, just like the general details about it, you would be able to just go to our website as well. And we've got like detailed stuff about the types of gameplay and then arena, the characters. Yeah.
Okay, so then since talking about the website, would you mind to share the web page with us and also guide us through different sessions so that we will have more detailed understanding of the Petopia project and also see what opportunities that we still have, especially I know that some of the our community members say had the opportunity to participate in the pre-sale, right, the second phase, but others they might, especially on Binance side, we have a bunch of audience. They might like new to the project. So at this stage, as a new member who just learned about the Petopia project through today's Binance Live AMA, how would you guide us to learn about it? If because
Yeah.
let me check how many audience that we have over here. Yeah, we already have over, let me see. Currently, we already have over 700 live views. So I
Wow.
believe many of them are new. Yes, new to the
Okay. The
so,
pressure's on. All right, beautiful. So I think for a lot of the community, the way to look at Petopia is a combination of two very, very famous games. You've got Brawl Stars, which is globally famous. Many people play it, big competitive scene. And then at the same time, you have one called Arch Hero, which is a more casual game, and that one's a dungeon crawler. Both of them did hundreds of millions of dollars in revenue. I think Brawl Stars may be in the billions, but we internally we love them, and we were like, all right, if we had the opportunity, we would build something like that. And of course, here we are. Here's the opportunity. So imagine both of those mixed together, and you have three game modes. So campaign and adventure, they take their inspiration from Arch Hero, and then Arena, that takes its inspiration more from Brawl Stars. So this is where you would be competing head to head with other players or other guilds in this scenario. So it'd be a guild versus a guild type competition. And to be clear, guys, Petopia is actually live. You can go and play it right now. It's available globally in all app stores, Google and Apple. So it may be a little bit odd, but we did it a bit backwards. We released the game first, and then we're telling everyone about it instead of hyping something that isn't here yet. So yes, just to be clear, if you did want to try it, it's ready to go. You can go and play it right now.
that is a very bold move. I have to say that instead of like other Web3 gaming project, normally they will share teasers, right, for maybe
Right.
about a year and then finally launch the game. So what made the team wanted to do this? So do the product first and then marketing later. Why?
It was more so that we wanted to prove ourselves, I guess is the best way to say it. And if we go back and look at our previous game, which is Pegasus, and that one's actually scheduled for its version 2, Pegasus Rush Races, in March. But what we did was the same then. We built the game first, and then we went to market. And that's what worked for us. And we feel as if that builds trust within the community. They know that we can actually build something. And if you want to be part of the community or you're interested, you can go and test it now. And if it's not your type of game, then absolutely totally fine. But if it is, you know you can play it right now, and you can trust that we do build and we do ship.
Got it. Thank you so much. And how about finding the players, the gamers? Because as you just shared that the community create content, right? And just freshly out today. That is just awesome. And well, if you push out the game first, and then how did you promote your game to attract more users at first hand? And also, do you mind to let us know that it is like mainly focused on Web3 players, or do you have a combination of players from both Web2 and Web3? Thank you.
Yeah, amazing question. So I think they both relate to each other. So for our focus, we recognize that if we're going to be successful as a studio, we need to do both. That means we need to facilitate Web 2 users and Web 3 users. And what we also should look at is that this is a casual game. What is a casual game? A casual game is the type of game that you'll spend like 15, 30, maybe 45 minutes playing each day. That means, for example, you're on the way to work and you're on the train. You have time to grind and play and enjoy it in that period of time. We're not going for the most hardcore gamers that spend 20 hours a day playing. We're going for everybody else. And that audience is enormous. And what that means is that at some point we're going to have to do traditional user acquisition, and that's going to attract traditional players, not Web3 players. So when it comes to finding players, we do both strategies. Of course, we build an ecosystem, actually led by a product that we call Guild Tech, to attract the Web3 players because it makes a really, really fun competitive flywheel. But at the same time, we do traditional ads and user acquisition like any mobile game does to ensure that we have regular players coming in and they can still purchase in-app items and all that type of stuff through traditional means like credit card. But at the same time, our Web3 users have every single option to use Web3 or crypto in that sense natively inside the game. That's where our infrastructure has come into play. So our focus, at least right now, is the Web3 users because myself and my CTO are natively degen, so we love that side of things. But we understand that longevity for the game, there needs to be Web2 players as well. So of course, we've facilitated and built for both.
Wow, that is just brilliant because in order to have a lot more real players to join the game, right? We really need to brainstorming the best way to do it, right? And a lot of times actually allowing both Web2 and Web3 gamers to be able to participate in the game at the same time is the best way possible. And also shout out to the team, right, to also provide purchase friendly, yeah, different ways to buy the
Right,
asset to be able to join the game. Because I know a lot of traditional players, they so much wanted to give it a try of certain games, right? However, it is just will take time to really learn, okay, where can I, yeah, mint the NFT, how do I set up my wallet, and yeah, how do I get cryptos, right, in order to pay, right?
right.
Those kind of things. Interesting. So do you have separate teams to promote your gaming projects in traditional platforms like Instagram or Twitch, and then also a different Web3 team especially pushing it out on Twitter?
Yeah, so internally, we actually have a traditional user acquisition team, as you would expect in most game studios. And of course, with our experience that we've had through Pegasus, we understand the Web3 market pretty well. Being natively Web3, we feel as if we understand it quite well. And we work with Inferno. I think you guys are quite close to Inferno. So yes, we work with Inferno as well on general strategy and go to market for the Web3 side. So yeah, two separate teams. Obviously, we work in tandem, but they're separate.
Mhm. Got it. Yes. Yeah, because I have been in the Web3 gaming space for a couple years, and also seeing that it is totally different marketing strategy, right? If we wanted to
Very
bring
much.
in, yeah, different players, and so certainly curious about how the Petopia project does as well. Thank you for sharing information with us. And how about communities? Would you do different ways to manage your communities? For example, we know that whether it's traditional gaming or Web3 gaming, we actually all prefer to use Discord as a platform, right? Would you mix it up together within the same Discord server, or other different channels for people to talk about? For example, what if part of the people are talking about pre-sale, right?
Right.
Anti-minting, cryptos, and how about others? Or do you have some educational sessions to educate the newcomer members, that and also helping them to kind of like slowly migrating or onboarding to Web3? Thank you.
Yeah, great question. The way that we think about this is that we would love for our regular players to be naturally exposed to the Web3 side of things instead of us telling them they have to do it. And if they love the game and they want to be a part of the community, then they join, for example, Discord, and they realize that there's another world to this game, another layer that they haven't yet discovered. It's very likely that they would convert. By convert, I mean go from a regular user to a Web3 user. And for us as a studio, that's really, really powerful. And that's actually our intent. While you can have all of the tools in the world when it comes to trying to make them convert without them noticing, it's much more powerful if you just build a game that they love and then the community does it for them. And that's the way that we want to do it. So they would definitely blend together. When they join the Discord, they can, we have moderators and customer support there 24/7. So even if they ask a regular question about the game, we're obviously going to answer them, and the community can as well. But naturally, we hope that they do get that exposure, then dive into the Web3 side of things, because it's very, very easy. And when they play the game as a regular player, they're actually already halfway there to being a Web3 user, because when they make an account on the back end, we've already given them a wallet. They've almost done everything. They just need to download Mirai app, which is another app, and then they're good to go.
Wow, that is convenient. So, does that mean that in the future there might be more games other than Petopia, and they only just need to download the Mirror apps, and then everyone could access kind of like SDK integration thing?
Identical to that. So that's why we built the ecosystem, the Mirai Chain ecosystem, and that's kind of what I was mentioning earlier. Mirai Chain, we're basically a plug and play package for Web3 for mobile game studios. So all they'd need to do is just integrate the SDK into the game and build a user interface, UI, UX inside of the game. And then if they did want to interact with Web3, for example, their users, if they download Mirai app, which is a Web3 wallet, like a NPC wallet, that's also available in all the app stores. If they want to do something on-chain inside of the game, it automatically opens Mirai app. They just click accept, and then it automatically sends them back to the game. It's almost as quick as doing something inside of the game natively anyway. So the solution is, I don't know, extremely powerful is what we've found, that the friction is almost nothing.
Got it. Thank you so much. Yes, and we also have seen the kind of like, should I say, the evolution of Web3 gaming, right? We will see that from about 2-3 years ago, right? Starting from X Infinity, that everyone knows about that. And that was kind of like Web3 gaming version number one, right? And so
Right.
far we are going to version number two, and we could see that more and more teams, they actually aim to build a platform with multiple games instead of just one game and one project, one team. And then it's actually not very easy to make a one single game to like a longevity, right? To stay there for a long time, keep attracting new users. So well, does Mirror Labs also Mirror ecosystem have plans for launching more games to your ecosystem, and when will be that? Thank you.
Yeah, so that is definitely going to be the play, and that's what we do is use ourselves as the perfect case study. We needed all of this infrastructure anyway to build the user experience that we desired. So we went ahead and built it. But what that allows us to do is provide that to other people. So in the future, what will happen is that, of course, we will have our other games ourselves. We will not stop to build games. We've got Petopia, then we have Pegasus version 2 coming out, and we'll have other games, absolutely. But within the Mirai ecosystem, there will be other games that, for example, we're hoping, like I just said earlier, to have 10 games minimum this year within that Mirai ecosystem. And for us, the goal for the community where they would benefit is essentially through what those projects would bring regarding if they do an NFT sale, if they do a token launch, those type of areas. We think it's going to be super powerful for the early stage community within the Mirai ecosystem.
Wow, 10 games this year. Wouldn't that be a lot? How large is your team to be able to develop each of the games and also to marketing them?
Yeah, definitely, it's a lot. We recognize that it's not going to be the easiest thing, right? But that's why we take on the challenge. Right now, we have 80 team members, approximately 80, and we have 3 studios in Vietnam. So we feel well, we know that we are capable of this, and right now our focus is finding extreme senior talent who's going to even propel it further for us. So we know that we're ready, and what we're doing is setting it up essentially towards the end of the first quarter, maybe second quarter. You'll see us pushing very, very hard for Mirai Chain.
Wow, awesome. Be sure to come back because actually we have AMA sessions every day, 7 days a week and
Wow.
nonstop. So yeah, I don't take a break any day. So I already have over 6,000 hours of live streaming time on Binance Live. So feel free to come back if you have any new games, especially maybe at the early stage when you are like the next project's pre-sale or empty one spot giveaways, right? Feel free to come back, and our community members will
Absolutely.
love to have some
We'd love
slots
to.
over there. Yes, that is just awesome. And well, the time over here is about 8:28 a.m. And first I'm going to share my screen because I see that definitely today our AMA session with Corey from Mirror Labs and Petopia is being featured on the front page of Binance. So, friends, if you go to Binance.com, find the live session, you are going to see us over here. And just click on the banner, you're going to join our live session. And we are very glad to have the CEO of the Mirror Labs and talking about Petopia and also about the overall Mirror Lab ecosystem. Also, letting us know more about Petopia. So, what is the next step for Petopia, since we know that the game is already ready to play, right? And now we have a pre-sale. So what's next? It seems like you got everything. Are you going to like keep pushing out different new ways, new gameplay, a mechanism for the players to do it, or are you going to like let it grow by itself organically and then start to push out another project? Since like you say there are 3 gaming studios, right, for working for Mirror Labs, and also there are a team of like 70 or 80 people, right? That's really a
Gotcha.
lot in Web3.
Yeah. So great question again. What's the future hold
Mm-hmm.
for Petopia? Right. The
Yes.
way that we operate is we ship early so that we can build with the community. Petopia at the moment is in like what we would consider an early stage beta. That means it's definitely got bugs and there's a lot of things that we can improve and a lot of content that we need to continue to produce so that we can go ahead and do a big global launch. So right now, the players that are in, they're the earliest stage players, they're the newest players. And the easiest way to put this would be is that they're the early adopters. However, it is very early for us. We just like to release, like I said, essentially the earliest MVP so that the community knows what we're shipping and sees if they like it. Now, the future is obviously going to be well, our vision is very, very big. And what we want to do is really just produce a game that is the golden standard for mobile casual games in crypto on multiple facets, meaning the go-to-market, the value that it provides the community, monetization, and user experience. If we
Mm-hmm.
can ace all of those, we know that we'll be a household name. That's not going to be easy, absolutely, but we wouldn't take it on if we didn't think that we were capable. In the short term, I guess significant things that people can note is obviously the NFT sale. This is the pre-sale. I guess you could call it a private sale dedicated obviously to Ultiverse and other communities as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then there will be the public sale. The public sale will be like the first significant big event that we've held. And then, of course, there will be the airdrop, the token launch. And just on that token launch, what I think is important for people to note is that we're not doing a private sale of the tokens or a public sale of the tokens. The only people that will have tokens in this event are the NFT holders, which is really, really unique, I think. I haven't seen a project do it. I'm sure some have, but I just think it's really unique and quite a cool experiment to be part of beyond everything else. So in the short term, they're the two things that you can look forward to. But if you're a player, I mean, there's a tournament happening right now for $25,000, and the guilds are competing inside of our guild tech system, which is really, really fun tournament basting.
Nice. Yeah, certainly we are love to participate in the tournament as well. And also since that this is a video platform, right? So if there's a online tournament, for example, the other day, I think it was the day before yesterday, I just streaming ZK Sync ecosystems poker tournament. Yeah, I could just basically just share the screen, right, and then showcase how
Mm,
community members participate in the game. And I remember we had about over 900 players
love it.
from for that poker tournament the other day from the ZK Sync ecosystem. So if in the future the Mirror Labs ecosystem, any of the games, right, you are also having a online tournament that is streamingable, yeah, also let us know because we're interesting take a look, and if our schedule permitted, we definitely would like to stream it because we are dedicated to showcasing more Web3 projects, especially great Web3 projects and Web3 gaming projects, right? So this is a way to kind of like helping more people who are already in Web3, right? Because they
Right.
have all of our followers are KYC verified by Binance. So they're in Web3, but they might be at the other side Web3, the crypto side, right? And we wanted to let them know more about the Web3 gaming side. So that's why I'm here every day. And certainly we do hope that if you have any interesting coming events that is streamingable, feel free to reach out to us. Yeah, we're following each other on Twitter already, right? So let's keep in
Yes,
touch.
that's right.
Awesome. And and I would definitely do as much support as I could to provide to the Mirror Labs ecosystem as well. And
Thanks so
just
much.
let everyone know that, friends, today we're very, very happy to have Corey from Mirror Labs, and he's the CEO and over there. And also we are talking about let's focus on Petopia because today definitely let us a spotlight, right? So, what is could you please tell us more details about the gaming studio behind Petopia? So, like how large is the studio, and also how long did it take for them to build it, and also what's the more like genre of the game, and also any other upcoming plans for this game? Thank you.
Right, right. No worries. So we have Mirai Labs is what we would call the overarching studio, and as mentioned earlier, we have three locations. So that's at the north of Vietnam, which is Hanoi. Then you have in the middle called Da Nang, beautiful beach city. I wish I lived there. And then Ho Chi Minh, where I am at the moment, just down the bottom. So there's a lot of amazing talent in Vietnam, but they're quite distributed. So we just need to be absolutely everywhere. And actually, uh, Mirai Labs started purely just as Pegasus. Our vision was to build out Pegasus, and that one blew up enormous, 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 and it allowed us to expand as a studio, and that's where Mirai Labs actually came from. So, as mentioned earlier, there's about 70 to 80 people within Mirai Labs. We don't do any outsourcing or anything like that. We do it all in house. So everything is hand built from complete zero, which is also why you'll experience in the early stages plenty of bugs because we're not going and using other people's games. So, yeah, I guess that basically summarizes it. And some background, obviously, some of the core team who are building this. You know, myself and Steve. Steve's background is actually he's was CTO and one of the earliest team members at one of the largest tech companies here in Vietnam for over a decade. He was there. And then myself, I started Australia's largest toy gun store, believe it or not, back in 2018, 2019. And we have another one, and then we shipped that one over into Philippines market as well. So my background is actually in e-commerce, obviously startups, but e-commerce. And then some of our core team have had over a decade of experience in the largest game developer and publisher, actually owned by Tencent over here in Vietnam. It's called VNG. He spent a decade there managing projects, and then he came over to Web3 back in the day, and he was one of the leads in the project. He wasn't a co-founder, but he led Bomb Crypto, which was very, very big on Binance a long time ago. So he was there in the early stages of that, and then he left to come over to Mirai.
Wow, nice. So the project started from Vietnam and then going to different places across the world.
Yeah,
And
we have
that's
US and the Philippines, of course. We really try to have a Filipino presence inside the community because there's so many players there naturally. So Philippines for sure, and then of course we have some in the US and in Europe.
Uh, do you mind to share some insights about how's the overall attitude toward Web3 gaming in Southeast Asia? I'm based in North America, and we also have friends from we actually have moderators, Vietnamese moderators, and
Right.
within our community, and I. It is very interesting because I could see that they are quite active. So, what
Mhm.
is the overall attitude? Because well, if in real life, at least in North America over here, when I talk about Western gaming to my classmates, right, that they are kind of like a little bit confused, and why don't you just play traditional games, and why would you play Western game? Yeah, so what make Vietnamese and Filipinos so into Western gaming, and how do people overcome the tech barrier? Because certainly there's a barrier, right? The
Right.
first, if we wanted to be a weather gamer, other than we have good skills, we also need to understand some fundamental knowledge, right, of how weather works. So what's the overall
Yeah.
attitude over there? Thank you.
Great question. So I think it just comes down to habits of the audience. If we have a look at the player breakdown of Pegasus, it was spread between Southeast Asia and Brazil, and their how would I say their society within those countries are very much so connected via, for example, Facebook. And what would happen is that if one person talks about it, it very easily becomes viral, especially when it involves money. And it doesn't need to involve a significant amount of money. Like, I'm Australian, and in North America, I think we both understand the cost of living is insane. However, the cost of living in Southeast Asia or Brazil is far lower, and a dollar goes much further. So I guess it's a combination of two things, right? It's the fact that they are much more social in the sense they're very connected to each other. Their playing habits are far greater. They play a lot more on average, and the money that was involved in that original model is just more significant in a country like that. So there's more people talking about it, and they're willing to go through the friction, like you mentioned, of onboarding into Web3 because of that significance of that money at that time. So that's really just set a really solid foundation for where we are now. And it put millions and millions and millions of people into Web3. And those people are now the potential open market. And it's much easier to bring in a native Web3 person than trying to convert a Web2 person into a Web3 person. So that's why you see so many companies trying to build games specifically for Southeast Asia and Brazil, because they're used to it. Onboarding is very, very easy for them. So yeah, that's kind of where we sit. We're just blessed to already have an existing community in both of those countries because Pegasus was so successful. However, for new projects, I think you would see the same path.
That is very nice. Thank you so much, Corey, for sharing with us. So, would you stay in Southeast Asia for building Mirror Labs or Petopia or other upcoming games? Because that is a very suitable environment. I have also been thinking about that, as we know that later we're going to talk about regulations, right? We could not avoid that. Yeah, if we wanted to build in Web3, especially for Web3 games project, or we call it GameFi project or blockchain gaming project, right? Whatever we call it, we have to think about financials, right? We have to think about cryptos and the tokens, right? Launching the tokens, and then there comes regulations. How would that work? Yeah, for the Mirror Labs project. Thank you.
So for general regulations, like what do we think about it and what will we do?
Yes, yes, yeah.
Yeah.
When building projects in starting from Vietnam and the Philippines.
Yeah. So the way that we look at that is that in many instances and in probably 90% of countries, it's not that clear
Mm-hmm.
where it stands. In many scenarios, I think it's just accepted that cryptocurrency exists and gaming is gaming, right? So
Uh,
there's not many things that they're paying attention to in that case.
uh,
However, of course, if there was regulation to come into place, the way that we operate at Mirai is that we always stick to the laws of Singapore, and that's where the parent company is incorporated. So we prefer to stick to a country that is being proactive in the sense that it may set the standards for the countries around it. And if we can stick to that one and still operate without issue, then of course it's totally for us. We feel as if it would be fine.
mhm.
And if there is any curveballs like there is in law and the governments, of course we will deal with that just like everyone else will deal with that when the time comes. However, we recognize that it's just part of being early. So if the time comes, the time comes, and we will have to facilitate that.
God, yes, because since joining Web3, I have also been considering maybe moving to Europe or Southeast Asia, right? More crypto friendly countries. And
Right,
that would, yeah, definitely, yeah, feel like motivated to, yeah, keep building more. Otherwise, as we look at least in the US, right, the SEC, well, even though it recently passed a BTC ETF, right? But we still could see it's kind of like very vague policies, and especially when it's close to the election this year, right? Lots more
right.
issues were brought up, but still unclear. Yeah, unlike some countries, they are like really crypto friendly and they embrace the concept of Web3 and also supporting, right? I wanted to find a place that's really supportive, and just like you recommended, right? I would say. In Vietnam, in Singapore, and the Philippines, and also Brazil, right? Might be great places I will consider about it. Thank you so much, Corey, for sharing your
Of course.
insights. Yeah, and well, how would you bring your Web2 e-commerce experience to marketing your Web3 gaming projects? Because it's still a bit of different, right? And I, of course, as you mentioned, that Petopia also targeting not just Web3 gamers, but also to traditional gamers. And how would you combine these and overseeing the overall marketing strategies for pushing out Petopia and other Mirror Labs projects? Thank you.
Yeah, how I compare,
Hmm.
say, e-commerce and a tech company.
Right.
E-commerce is almost as if it's on easy mode, and a tech company is on hard mode. They are significantly different in many, many ways, but there's many fundamentals, I think, as a founder that translate independent of what company that you do have. So, of course, I was blessed enough to experience rapid growth and trying to stand out within a very crowded market, and also the benefits of being early. So that is translated into what we've seen in Pegasus. I used all of that experience to go to market with Pegasus, and now of course, I think this gives me an upper hand in recognizing opportunity for any project that we use in the future. But to say that operating an e-commerce brand and a tech brand is the same would be an absolute lie if anyone's saying that. It would come down to more so experience as a human being, as a founder, as a leader, and operations in general of a company. But right now, starting a tech company or a game studio for that is absolutely hard mode. An easy example to give you when it
Hmm.
comes to product versus a tech product.
Right.
Um, you can go ahead and choose any product. Let's say it's makeup or something like that. You
Hmm.
can go online and purchase it, build a website, and try to sell it.
Hmm.
Um, you don't even need to purchase the product. You can build a brand and get images and try to sell it, run ads, and see if it would be profitable.
Hmm.
However, with a game, you have to build the entire game before you can test it. It's just extremely difficult. It's almost the exact opposite of e-commerce. So yeah, absolutely, it's on hard mode, but I feel extremely blessed from my experience, but also my CTO's experience, our team's experience, that they've done this before. And that's kind of why we are in the position we're in.
That is very nice. Yes, and I feel like yeah, certainly need to learn a lot more as yeah we do, and because whether it's still compared to other marketing yeah spaces are still quite new, and also just like you say it right, we have to have a product, and also Web3 community members like kind of like to grow with the project, and also they want to know more details, right? Unlike in traditional like marketing spaces, like normally CEOs do
Right,
not have to go to daily or weekly sessions, right, with a
right,
company.
right.
Yeah, this is really interesting. And
It's
um,
intense for
yes,
sure, very intense.
yes, certainly. Yeah, I am taking a marketing class at Harvard Business School this semester. So definitely, just like you say, right? Intention is like nonstop, right? And we have to
Love it.
be here daily, and also just like you say, on your Discord server, there are moderators working there, taking turns 24/7 to take
Yep.
care of the company members and to answer the questions. But um, since you have e-commerce experience in Web2, and also you also yeah leading marketing, overseeing marketing strategies in Web3's projects over here, how would you compare the it's so intense, however we still don't have a lot of real players, to be honest, as far as like my observation, right? A lot of people they come and then as a farmer, and then they farm tokens, just like you say,
Right.
if you play well you are going to get more airdrops, right? So they farm, and sometimes they use bots, right, to help it,
Right.
or sometimes they write codes, right? And
Yep.
to alter the game, right, to make it easier to win, or one screen, one large screen like could have like 100 different smaller
Yes, for
over
sure.
here.
Very common.
Yeah, so how would you compare the efforts that we put, right, to build a weather project, and also not really attracting a lot of real users, but however, like if you just upload the game to App Store or Google Play, and as a traditional game, right, kind of like organic and naturally, some people would find it out, download it, and play it, right? And user
Right.
growth, for example, DAU in Web3, if it's like over 10,000, that's a lot. I mean,
Right.
real players are real pure weather players. We don't, if we don't count those like semi 2.5 players, right? So how would you compare that? And the how would you like see the like the coming 5 years or July? Do you think that we really could bring more players to Web3, or are we going to eventually have to do Web 2.5 in order to survive? Yeah, in order to make our project survive. How would you see this? Thank you.
Yeah, I think this is the probably going to be the question that is around for forever,
Yes,
maybe. Uh,
this is a long
so
debate.
yeah, this is just the question that everyone has, and
Uh-huh.
I think our products is evidence of our opinion on this, and
Right.
we recognize that within, like you said, within crypto, there is basically no one here in reality, and especially in a very specific niche like GameFi or mobile casual games within GameFi. The market gets even smaller there, and that's because it's just not mature. Now that does mean that there is opportunity. Absolutely, there's a lot of opportunity. However, it comes down to business operations and business decisions. And I think this is a part that you're recognizing, and clearly you're paying attention within the space, because uh, a lot of these companies are launching, but they don't actually have a business model or a plan to make money beyond maybe an initial NFT sale or something like that, right? And this comes back to why we built fundamentally a Web2 game. We
Mhm.
knew from Pegasus version 1 that only facilitating the Web3 audience is not going to render a sustainable business or a sustainable game, because they
Mhm.
like to move frequently. Now, you can absolutely keep them around and some of them will stay.
Mhm.
However, they do like to move. And like you said, there is people who try to take advantage of the system. If they can't do so, they won't go anyway. And obviously, we in any scenario possible will try to prevent that, and I think we're pretty good at that. But what we recognized very early was that if we're going to do this, we need to do it right, and that means taking a page out of the book of traditional game studios. They have millions of users and can still make money for a reason, and we need to build off of that. And that's the reason we have inspiration from Brawl Stars and we have inspiration from Arch Hero, because both are wildly successful. We don't need to go out and reinvent the wheel. We're just trying to make the wheel better. And that's kind of where we sit now. And when I mentioned earlier about our product suite is evidence of our opinion on Web 2, Web 2.5, Web 3, uh, our mission here is probably closer to Web 2.5, meaning, like you said, when they join, they don't need to create an account. We have that.
Mhm.
They don't need to make an account, and they can do things on chain almost as if it's a regular transaction. You know, buying an item in the game with your credit card, it takes
Mhm.
the same amount of clicks as it does on chain. We feel as if that is the path forward if we want scale. Now, that doesn't mean that a game can't succeed facilitating only to a Web3 audience. Absolutely, they can. It would just be a different user experience in a different game. And we're blessed enough that the Web3 market is big enough right now
Mhm.
to still give those studios opportunity. But at least for us, we wanted to make sure that the games would be around for a long time, not
Mhm.
just a season, for example.
Right, exactly. Because I have seen, yeah, throughout my tenure over here in Web3 gaming space, I've seen some projects, right? If it's not the platform, just one single project, and they might just die down within 1 month once there are bots or yeah, other some guilds, right? Especially come to
Right,
the game just to farm and dump. That
right.
is just really sad. So thank you, Corey, yeah, for sharing so many insights. I feel like this is called Web3 Gaming Marketing 101 session. Yeah, with
I
yeah,
love it.
Corey, yeah, CEO and founder at Mira Labs. And also we have a project spotlight on Petopia together as well. Thank you so much. Are there any additional information that I haven't asked and you would like to share with us regarding to the project? Thank you.
I think not so much, right? We covered mostly everything. Of course, I dropped a lot of alpha in general about like um, the things that we will do with the Mirai ecosystem, that it will attach to these NFTs and the opportunities that owning these NFTs will provide. But I think beyond that, I just want anyone that is truly interested and wants to know more to recognize that you don't need to wait to gather information. You don't need to wait to try it. If you want to play, if you want to see the products that we're building, you're able to experience absolutely everything now because we ship them. They're live. So please come and give it a try if you want the opportunity to. And as I said as well, the Discord is wildly active. And if you ever need help, our community is going to be there. So is our customer support. So whatever you need, and we're here, and we would absolutely love to have you a part of the community. Actually, one thing that I may have missed is the price on the NFTs. I know a lot of people do ask that. The phase one that has passed, that was at 0.08, and then phase two is 0.1, and then the public sale will be between 0.12 and 0.15, to be clear.
Reese, thank you so much for sharing the information with us. Yes, friends, if you have the opportunity, yeah, to participate the pre-sale, be sure not to miss it because this is phase two and phase one already successfully wrap up. Thank you so much, Corey, for all the details with us. And our replay will be available soon, and we are available on both our Twitter, video live, and also our Binance side, right? So everything will be available pretty soon once we completely session. Once again, thank you so much, Corey, for your time today. And we're looking forward, just like I say, right? That is a genuine invitation, right? In the future, if there are any community tournament that is streamingable, feel free to come back again. Thank you.
For sure, we will. Thank you again so much, Moonlight. I appreciate it, and I'll speak to you again soon, I'm sure.
Thank you. Please click on the leave still button, continue your day, or take a break. Thank you. Perfect, perfect. And now we are going to play our ending video over here, and then we are going to end our live session, and then we will have replay available. Thank you all for watching us today on Binance Live. This is Moonlight. I'm done speaking. See you next time. Okie dokie, we are back here and we are very happy that today we're once again being featured on the front page of Binance Live. I'm going to take a screenshot over here and we're going to say bye to friends who are watching across different social media platforms. This is definitely the year for Web3 gaming. I'm very excited and learn a lot with Crowley. Okay, I'm going to say bye to our friends on Binance Live and our Twitter Live, Twitch Live. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us and our YouTube Live. Bye, yo. See you soon.